on guys, welcome back to another video. I want to try and make this video like a little bit more of like a proper day in the life. So right now it's like 9 in the morning. These past couple of days I've been waking up really late at like 1 in the afternoon, and like the other day I woke up at 5 p.m. My sleeping pattern and like staying awake all night and doing all-nighters like 2 times a week is like my worst habit. I've never been good at sleeping on time, and I'm always sleeping really late if I don't get enough sleep. But today, out of some miracle, I woke up at 5 in the morning, which honestly kind of sucks because it's now 9 a.m. and I feel like I've been awake all night and I kind of want to go back to sleep. But so far, I've gotten all my work done for today. And you guys see me packing up all those PZ orders in the morning. If you guys are new to this channel, Plan Zero is just like my job at the moment. I work for my brother's company. The reason I'm making a vlog today is because for the first time in like a week and a half, it's actually sunny and I think it's gonna dry today. But I gotta wait because it's still really early and it's still really wet outside. Probably the most annoying thing about Scotland, when it rains, it doesn't dry until like 2 p.m. and then it gets dark at like 3 p.m. So really, you only get like an hour to skate when the sun's still out. I really hope today though it dries a little bit earlier because I think my dad's coming down to the skate park. I've been wanting to make a video where I teach my dad to skate for so long. It's gonna be so funny. This came from me this morning. Yeah, this is right. You ready for this? Boop. That's all you're getting. These are all the spleen stickers and they're gonna be available in 2 weeks. But these are so sick. They came out exactly like how I wanted them to. Alright, I'm gonna finish up my coffee, my smoothie, and then we're gonna go skate later. Change of plans, I'm not hanging out with my dad anymore. He was supposed to be coming into town and then we were gonna go to the skate park and have a session. But he pulled the old classic dad move, I'm too busy and I can't come. He abandoned me today like he did when I was born. The least favorite son does not get to see Papa. If your dad abandoned you when you were a child, hit the like button. I'm just kidding, Dad, it's alright. But we're about to go skate right now. It's finally kind of dried up. I think the park's gonna be dry. I'm gonna get a Red Bull on the way down and just skate like I've never skated before. If any of you guys have any ideas what I could do with 20 cardboard boxes, comment something below because I don't really know what to do with all this and it's kind of just taking up space. Skate park foam pit, indoor foam pit down the stairs, cardboard mini ramp. I don't know. Comment something below. I don't know what to do with it all. Alright, it's the moment of truth. Honestly, I get scared like coming up to the park. Don't know if it's gonna be dry. It's not too bad. It's been wetter. I can definitely get a skate. The bank's dry, the hip's dry. What is this? Sometimes people have this set up in the most ridiculous place. Like, who is even grinding this thing? The quarter's dry, the boxes are dry. The stairs are dry, although I don't really think I'm gonna be skating them because I don't want to fuck myself up. Frontside flips will probably always be my favorite trick. They just feel really nice to do and they look sick, but they're so annoying for me because whenever I'm filming one, I always need to get the very perfect one. It needs to flip a certain way and I need to land it a certain way or I just like can't take it. I think that last one was pretty clean. This Red Bull is really working. I've not had a Red Bull in so long, so whenever I do have one, I always get just so hyped up from it. This video is not sponsored by Red Bull, but God, if it was, I'd love that. Imagine that. Actually no, it'd probably be a terrible thing. It would probably shorten my life by about 70 years. I'd get my first box and then I'd instantly die because I'd drink them all in the one day. Live fast, die young, be sick. This is definitely the best I've been able to skate for a while. It's still just so frustrating though that some tricks I still can't do. Like for some reason I can't seem to be able to flip a tray flip, which is a trick that's usually easy for me, but ever since I got injured, like I just can't move my ankle that way. And it's really annoying and it's really sore to like still try it. It's getting better. It's almost like exactly the same as it was. All my other tricks pretty much still feel the same. Still like a little bit sore, but it's bearable and it doesn't get more sore the more that I skate. It gets better. If you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, I got injured like a month ago skating with a pumpkin on my head. Still really sore, still really shit. I also didn't realize this when I left the house, but I've got a hole in my shoe and now I've got a hole in my sock. Soon to be a hole in my foot. Kind of confused why it's not bleeding and why it's not sore, but like my entire toe keeps poking out my shoe. I'm kind of done with properly skating for today, so we're gonna get to like the main title of this video. Look at this dog. Hello. Here's a good boy. He's got on a little coat. Good boy. This time of year I always get loads of messages on my Instagram, people asking why they need to keep buying new decks. The main thing that messes decks up really quickly is doing stuff like skating in the rain. Obviously if you get your board wet it's going to be really soggy and it's just not going to feel as nice as it did. And that's a mistake a lot of beginners make, and I'm pretty sure I did it a lot when I first started skating. So you don't want to skate in bad conditions, like if it's raining. You don't want to get the grip tape all muddy because then it's not going to be as grippy anymore. This is all pretty obvious, but like I made the mistake so much when I first started skating. You want to treat your board right if you want to make it feel nicer for longer and not need to buy a new one every single month. Another thing that really messes up decks quickly is doing stuff like this. I feel like a lot of people do this just to make themselves look better than what they are. Instead of jumping off your board because you're too scared to do a trick, some people like to slide their tail and get like really mad at their board to try and make themselves look like some sort of pro or something, but really they're just too scared to go for the trick. This is fine if you do it by just sliding on your heel, but usually people do it by just sliding on their tail, which is going to sand down your tail so much and you're going to get the worst razor tail. So if you're too scared to commit to a trick, just jump off your board. No one's gonna think you're a pussy. Also, when I first started skating and I was just like skating around, I would always try to look really cool when I stopped my board by just scraping the tail across the ground, which really does not look that cool and it fucks up your board really quickly. I used to do this even when I got like a brand new board. I would skate down to the skate park and my entire way I'd be skating really fast, and every single time I would stop, I would just sand my tail across the ground as hard as I could. And then by the time I got to the park on my first day skating that new board, it would be so razor tailed and it was disgusting. But like I didn't really feel any difference in it because I'd done that all the time. But then I figured out decks feel a lot nicer if they're not extremely razor tailed. And for any of you guys that don't know, the term razor tail means when your board looks a little something like this. When your tail gets all filed down and it's all flat and it doesn't pop as nice. Another thing that fucks up your board pretty quickly is if you don't clean your feet before you step on your board. Like whenever I come to the skate park, I always need to walk across this grass before I get here, and this grass is always really wet and it's really muddy, and by the time I get here my feet are covered in mud. So if I just stepped on my board straight away, I'd obviously get my grip tape disgusting. So you've always got to clean your feet before you step on your board. It's just like when you go into a house, you don't want to muddy up the floor, you don't want to muddy up your grip tape either. The worst thing is if you accidentally step on dog shit but don't realize and then you step on your grip tape. If any of you guys have ever done that, let me know in the comments. It's the worst thing ever. I had this phase for like 3 boards in a row. The day I set them up, I would always step in something. I'd step in like dog shit, or I'd step in oil or petrol or something, and I would have like the worst stain on my board the entire time I was skating it. 3 boards in a row, they were all like trash from the day I set them up. And it was so annoying. It happened every single time. And then the last thing's probably just don't be an idiot with your board. You don't want to be beating it up just because you look cool. People like to throw them around or get really mad at their board when they can't land a trick because it makes them look cool, or it just makes them feel better for not skating that good that day. But really you're just gonna get more mad because your board's gonna be so beaten up that you're not gonna be able to land the trick any better, and it's just a bad time. You're gonna need to buy a new deck if you're messing it up just because you can't land the trick. All this advice has pretty much just been common sense, but the amount of messages I get, I feel like some people just needed to know. So I hope I was able to just help at least some of you guys out. If any of you guys have any more advice on how to make your decks last longer, put it down in the comments so other people can read it, they can get more advice, and also I can maybe find out some stuff as well. Also, if any of you guys are offended on how much I'm razor tailing my board right now, I'm sorry, but I want to set up a new board anyway. This deck's pretty much done.